Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. And today, I will be reading the Todoroki Extruder by Shoto Scenarios on Tumblr. So let's get into it. If it were up to him, would never let you meet his father. But he also knew that it would have to happen eventually, seeing that his father had the resources to make it happen, with or without Todoroki's consent, because as much as he had wanted to keep it as a secret for as long as he possibly could, he had not known that eventually would come a lot sooner than he had expected, though, or that his father would be in the house today. The reason is his house as well. He could not bring himself to call it his home. It never has been, since the moment his mother had left. Home was a far too familiar word for the house his mother does not live in, and his father visits every once in a while. For reasons, Todoroki is confident that they have nothing to do with spending time with his family, and that warm atmosphere that often belongs to a home, it was completely non-existent. Regardless of his and his father's flaming quirks, the atmosphere had only gotten colder when Todoroki had unlocked the door, opening it to find his father seated at the dining table, paper spread out, and tea set centered on top of it. And his father's attention had redirected to the doorway where you and Todoroki were, surprised to different degrees at him being there. Though Shoto's surprise quickly wanes as his grip on the doorknob tightens. Past experience had taught him that there's little point in questioning what his father does. Like where he's at the house, doing paperwork, and not off doing hero's work. As one example, he could ask, "What are you doing here?" And his damned excuse of a father sneer above his fire-covered beard. Even when at the house, his father does not turn it off, and he would say something along the lines of, "I can't be in my own house." And since you're here, meeting Nindawa for the first time, Todoroki could not afford to prolong any conversation with his father, whose interest in you had started the second you entered the house. Todoroki had to keep this short, for your sake. He shuts the door once you're both inside. "In the war," says Todoroki flatly, and his father's eyes narrow in response to his hero name being used. Even though I'd gotten used to it, he doesn't like it, not on the least bit. "You brought a classmate?" his father asks, voiced into the annoyance that had been in his eyes just moments ago. Yet, the disapproval was clear. Steam wells up of his father's sea as Todoroki mumbled in response. "I did." He knows you could have at least tried elaborating. But then again, why should he? And Nandawa fixes you with a stare. Then Todoroki, following. "You weren't recommended to UA so that you could get yourself a distraction. Shoto, have you forgotten what your purpose is? Who you are to surpass? Distraction? When you should be out capturing ones, and not here drinking tea?" Todoroki retorts, a bit angrily, but he keeps himself right in front of you. Protective. "I haven't forgotten anything. And I don't remember you caring this much about what I do with my classmates," he answers. And the fire on Nandaber's face flickers and dies down, as if offended by what Todoroki had said. "A quirk marriage," his father says suddenly, having recovered from Todoroki's disrespect. "It worked well for your mother. And me. How long do you think it would take me before I found someone worthy of your quirk? Arrange for a quirk marriage?" he asks, and Todoroki then says, as a threatening implication, feeling his left side pulsating, begging to be used. And before he could fire back at his father, a buzzing noise coming from Endeavor sounds. His phone, and he answers immediately, getting up to handle the call privately. And once his father is completely out of the room, Todoroki turns to you, relief replacing the rage that he had felt toward his father. He had not looked at you once when Endeavor was here, knowing that if he did, his father would have seen the way he looked at you, and it would have been enough for him to realize that Todoroki had not gotten himself a distraction as he had put it, but Todoroki had fallen in love. Worried, you asked Todoroki, "Are you okay?" Your voice is gentle, soft, and full of concern, so much so that it makes his heart melt, like soft mellow under your voice. And once he heard the door close behind his father, as he was talking on the phone, he knew it would be a while until he came back. And now, it was safe to hold you, with no one around to see. I should be asking you that, he says, kissing your cheek softly as you let out a huff. Fond, but you couldn't help but worry about him more. Was he really serious about the quirk marriage? You ask, wrapping your arms around him tightly. He didn't want this to be true. You didn't want to leave him, and you knew you would do anything in the world to stay with him for as long as you could. You loved him. You loved Todoroki more than anything else in the world, to the point where you knew that no matter what happened, and no matter what Inji Todoroki tried to do, you would be staying by his side, because you loved him, and he loved you. And Todoroki softens at your question, intertwining his hand with yours. No, he only said that because he saw you, and I would never agree to it anyway. I already have you, Ion, and you're more than enough.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.